Hello students, how are you today? Welcome back to the materials for week 10 for English 1 for Diploma 3 with me, Miss Mona Lisa Pasaribu. And as you can see for today, for this week 10, we'll be discussing about the topic of Inventor and Invention. So let us check the materials by first looking at the outline. So as you can see over here in the outline, we'll be having a quick review from the materials in week 9, and then we'll be discussing about the topic for week 10, and then we will have a discussion of grammar, and then we'll do some practice. Okay, so we will check the review first. Okay, from week 9 we were discussing about the topic of production. Okay, so we discussed about the pie chart, and we discussed about some of the vocabularies related to the production. Okay, so as you can see in the instruction over here, what I want you to do is to use as many vocabulary as you can from the vocabulary list to make a meaningful sentences. So only one sentence, but if you can integrate as many vocabulary as you can from the list that I have given to you, that will be excellent. Okay, so with this review exercise, what I want you to do is to put your answer in the comments in YouTube, and then later on we're going to discuss it in the practicum session. Okay, so I will repeat one more time. Use as many vocabulary as you can from the vocabulary list to make a meaningful sentence, and then post your answer in the comments in YouTube video. Okay, don't forget to follow the instruction. Put your name and your ID and then your answer. Okay, I'm looking forward for your answers. Now we will move on to the topic of inventor and invention. As you can see over here, there are some inventor and their inventions. So what I want you to do, first of all, before you look from the source, I think some of you actually know which inventor invent what. Okay, so try it yourself by matching which invention belongs to the inventor, and if you don't know or if you get stuck, then you can go and Google. Okay, and now we will be discussing about the topic of inventor of an ironing board called Sarah Bone. So as you can see over here, there's a text, and with the text, what I want you to do, as usual, I want you to read it by yourself and record the voice, your voice. Okay, so please do this instruction, because I'm going to ask some of you later to play your recording in our practicum session. Don't make excuses that you don't know or you don't understand, because I have mentioned it in the last week's practicum, and I'm going to mention it again in this practicum later. Okay, so please do the recording of this reading, and then later we will do the checking in the practicum session. Now we will be discussing about keywords in reading passage. So the keywords in reading passages is going to make it easier for the reader to abstract important information from a reading passage. So what does it mean by important information? We will see it from the next slide. But before we move on to the next slide, just a quick question. What do you think will be important information from a reading passage? If your answer is about someone, a name, a place, who, what, which, something like that, then your answer is correct. Okay, because important information covers the central idea of the text. Okay, so we call that the keywords in the reading passage. So now we will discuss about the important information. So we can start with the name. So either the name of people or the name of the scientist over here, or the name of the inventor, or the locations, the towns, the city, the country, and the years or the dates, and then the figures, numbers, and etc. And some notes over here, you may mark any word or phrases which is capitalized. For example, the titles of books, event names, and etc. Okay, the longer the text, usually the more important information you need to extract in order to be able to retell. Okay, so in this case, because we are going to talk about the biography of an inventor, then by getting the information from the important information from the text, then you'll be able to retell the biography of these inventors. Okay, and the other thing that you need to understand, because later on you're going to retell the biography of inventors, and because most of the inventions happen in the past, therefore in order to retell the biography, you need to use the past tense. Okay, and I reckon you are familiar with past tense, so I'm just going to have a quick review on the pattern in the next slide. Now, as you can see over here, we use simple past tense to make statements about things that happen in the past. For example, the pattern is subject plus verb to. And then, for example, it says, Sarah Bone made her name by inventing ironing board. She was famous for her genuine invention. Okay, so made and was were two indication of past tense form. Now, as a review for your past tense verbs, because for past tense we need to use verb to, then I'm putting a list of verbs over here, and what I want you to do is to change these verbs into verb to. Okay, and then after that I want you to also classify it based on its regular and irregular form, and I want you to post your answer in your e-course forum. Okay, so this is going to be your question for the e-course for this week. Okay, so I'm going to summarize a little bit. So what I want you to do is to first change this verb into past tense verbs, and then the second, classify these verbs based on its regular and irregular form. Okay, and post your answer in the e-course forum for week 10. Now we'll be discussing about the practices. So the first one, what I want you to do is to read again the biography of Sarah Bone, and then after that I want you to take notes of the important information from Sarah Bone. Okay, so I'll show you the text one more time. So with this text, for example, the name of the person or the name of the inventor, obviously, and then after that the year, or whatever the years, there are plenty of years mentioned over here, and then the city, and etc. Okay, have a look again on the important information that you can find from a text. Okay, so that will be your first practice. I want you to list this important information, and then later in the practicum session we'll be discussing about it. Yeah. So now for practice 2, I provided you with an exercise of the past simple past verbs in a context. Okay, so we have an inventor, a Croatian inventor named Nikola Tesla. I think he's quite famous for his invention of a communication device, if I'm not mistaken. So have a look at her text, this text, and then please answer this by yourself. If you find it difficult to read this one, I'm also the document is also attached in our campus information system, so please check it by yourself. Okay, I know there are plenty over here, plenty of text, but it is also a good text for you to be able to practice your verbs in past tense. Okay, some of the words may be not familiar with you, you may not be familiar with some of the verbs. Therefore, if you find it difficult, consult with the dictionary or check in the Google Translate or whatever it is. And then after that, if you still have questions, you may ask me later, or in the practicum session you can ask me too. Okay, I'm available in WhatsApp group or in personal line. Okay, so that is for our practice for practice 2. Again, with this practice, after you have finished filling out the answers, what I also want you to do is to find out the important information from this text. Okay, so whatever the important information that you want to find out, please make the list for this text. Okay, so for practice 2, fill out the answers by regular and irregular verbs, and then extract the information from the text. Okay, and then for practice 3, what I want you to do is I'm giving you another biography, and then abstract the information and then retell the information using past tense. Okay, so this guy's name is Steve Jobs, and as you can see over here, he is a quite famous inventor and etc. Okay, so what I want you to do, read it, find out the important information about him, and then after that, in the practicum session later, I'm going to ask some of you to retell the information to me. Okay, if possible, you don't need to see your notes because you already get the important information. Therefore, you just need to retell the information straight away to me. Okay, so that's for the exercise 3. So by that, that would end our meeting or our video for this week. So just a quick checklist. If you think that you can understand some of the inventor's biography, then give the checklist. And then after that, if you can find keywords, then put the checklist. And if you can utilize past tense to retell the biography of the inventors, put the checklist over there. Okay. So what we have covered for this week is quite extensive, if I would say. So you have done the reading, and then you've done some finding keywords in the text, and then you also have utilized the past tense to retell the information about inventors by using past tense. Okay. So for next week, what we will do, we will discuss about the topic of transportation, and obviously it's going to be something related to future tense. Okay, so imagine a type of transportation that you think maybe is going to happen in the future, and then later we will discuss about what kind of future transportation is actually being imagined by people nowadays. Okay, if you talk about flying cars, some cars are one country mentioned that they actually will release a flying car soon. So well, that won't be another future, but I think it's already in present time. So think of a type of future transportation that may become a hit in the future. Okay, so that will be our next video. So that should be all for today, for this week, everyone. Thank you very much for watching my video for week 10. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the practicum session and hope to see you again in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.